What's up, runners? So I want to talk to you guys about motivation and making change. A lot of times, new runners or even experienced runners sometimes get stuck in a rut where maybe they know what to do, but they're not doing the workouts or they're not doing the things that will make them actually improve. Like, hey, maybe you're trying to train to pass the police exam. You have to run 1.5 miles in like 12 minutes, and you've been procrastinating it. You've just been delaying it, been doing other things, playing video games or whatever. And oftentimes it's not that people don't know they have to eat healthy, they have to move more. Like, hey, they know I need to lose some weight, but then they kind of rationalize, but I hate exercise, or I hate broccoli, or hey, I know I have to, if I want to get better at running, I'm going to run 5 times a week. But oh, it's too cold outside, or the gym's far away, I want to go to the treadmill. You start coming up with these excuses, or call it like these rationalizations, start to rationalize, why you can't do something. And I get it. I've been there myself, where like, man, you wake up, I'm like, I'll just hit the snooze button, I'll just sleep in. I know I should be getting up like an hour early to get my workout in before I go to work, but I'll just sleep in. I'm like, oh no, now I'm rushing to go to work and I just have to skip my workout. And I get, life happens. I understand some people have families, you have to take care of your kids, you have other responsibilities. But oftentimes we neglect our own health and our own goals and things. And oftentimes it's because we don't take the time to, like, really, how can we break the status quo? Are we happy with just being where we're at? Like, sometimes people are happy with just being average, and they go their whole life. I'm like, damn, I never pushed myself to break past my limit. I never took the risk. I never shot the shot. Like, I never tried, signed up for the marathon. I never see if I could actually run the marathon. And then you start having these regrets. So instead of like waiting for the perfect opportunity that may never come, right? Make a commitment to taking action today, right? Sometimes I tell people, hey, just write down, what are the cons, what are the pros and cons of your behavior. And let's say the behavior is to go for a run. What are the pros of going for your run today? What are the cons of not going for your run today? All right. And then I'll flip it. What are the pros of not running? Sometimes, you have other things. Maybe you have a financial deadline. You have to go pay the bills. So yes, go to work, pay your bills. Of course, you have other responsibilities. That being said, oftentimes people will use time as an excuse, like, oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I work 40 hours a week. It's funny. I was talking to a young kid. Oh, I work 40 hours a week. I don't have time to exercise. I'm like, listen, man, most people adults work 40 hours a week. You can definitely find like three hours a week to get some workout in. You don't have to train a marathon, but you could definitely just do general fitness, run 30 minutes 3 times a week. But that's an hour and a half, And then if you do strength training, maybe 30-minute strength training 2 times a week. So that's an hour. So that's 2.5 hours a week. And you can do strength and run for just 5 days a week. Totally possible, but a lot of times we make excuses. And another thing we could do to break it down is, I tell people, break it down to the micro action. What's the smallest thing you do? So going back to the running example, maybe the smallest thing you do is just put on your running shoes and step outside and walk or jog for 2 minutes. 2-minute jog. Cool. Got that then. You know what? You'll find those. That something interesting will happen when you start just going outside for that 2-minute jog. That 2 minutes then becomes 10 minutes. Because you're like, oh, 2 minutes is way too easy. I could definitely do 10 or 15 minutes. And then you start building a momentum. And then as you stay consistent, that momentum builds up. And by the time you know it, you're doing a 5K, 10K, half marathon, maybe even marathon and ultra, right? And that's kind of the beauty of just building a momentum, getting started, instead of like just thinking about it, just having these dreams like, oh, I wish I could go run, or, you know, maybe if someone else can help me, maybe someone else can save me. But oftentimes we have to save ourselves, right? So I understand we have the desire, and the first, kind of thing that comes up when you want to do something, whether it's a fitness goal, a running goal, you have a desire like, oh, I wish I could run the marathon, or I wish I could lose 10 pounds, or I wish I could, run faster. I want to pass this fitness exam. I want to get into the Navy. I want to, pass the Army's 2-mile run test, right? You get the idea. And these different conversations that are going in your head, right? It's like, hey, I want to, I wish, or and you're like, oh, but I've done this in the past. I was an athlete when I was in school. Like, I have the ability to. I used to play sports in school. For sure, great. Use that past ability, but then actually take action instead of just thinking about it. A lot of times people will procrastinate, or I call it paralysis by analysis. Well, you start analyzing like, oh, I have to make sure I have the right gear. I have to make sure I have the right gel. No, just go out. whatever drink some water. Of course, I'm not saying starve yourself, but don't try to analyze every gram of carbohydrate or protein powder or whatever. Just go eat healthy foods, fruits and vegetables, go walk, run, and then you'll start getting fitter as you just start being more consistent. And then as you get more advanced, you could do more advanced strategies to track things. Or like some people obsess over heart rate, like, oh no, I need to know the right heart rate zone, or it doesn't count. Just put the watch away and just go go by feel. Like, okay, does it feel easy? Does it feel a challenging pace? And if you're a complete beginner, sometimes it's just getting out there, just showing up to the track or the pavement and just going there, right? So you could the commitment, because a lot of times if you don't have the commitment, nothing's going to happen, right? You could want to do all these things. You could have these dreams and all these reasons why you should, like it's going to make you healthier. You're going to be more confident. But if you don't commit to it, nothing's going to happen. And as a physical therapist, I've noticed the same thing when I'm working with patients where like they're dealing with pain and they know they need to do their exercise. Sometimes the exercise just takes 2 minutes. It literally, a 2 minute stretch can help them get rid of their back pain. They know they could just do it, but they're not committed to it. They start making these excuses like, oh, I'm lazy, or something else came up. Oh, I want to go watch TV, or I want to go catch up with my friends. I'm not saying you can do those things, but just commit. If you know it's important for you to get rid of your pain, just make it the first thing in the day, right? You go brush your teeth, go in the bathroom, whatever. Hey, maybe first thing in the morning, go stretch your back, and you're going to know, say, oh, my back pain starts getting better just by spending a few minutes doing this simple back exercise that I learned in PT. Or if you go before a run, oh, I just got my first win of the day. First thing in the morning, just went out, walk, jog for 10 minutes. Great. Give yourself a pat on the back. Commit to taking action. So when you commit to taking action, real things will start to happen. All right. And you could do this for anything, whether it's business, health, relationships. Write down what it is you need to do. Like, what is your goal? Maybe you have a goal for the week, a weekly goal, a daily goal, whatever it is that helps you. Some people like having yearly goals, and then just break it down to the process, right? So you got the outcomes, the end goal, like, hey, maybe you want to run a marathon. And then what are the behaviors? What are the things you need to do on a day to day? So then it adds up to the parts that add up to the full main outcome of, let's say you want to run a 3 hour marathon. So what are the things? Oh, you're going to do your speed workout. Oh, you got to do 3 speed workouts a week. Cool. All right, you have to block that time off in your schedule so you don't get distracted. Like, oh, Sally invited me out to margaritas on Tuesday, or my friend Jim wants to hang out. All right, or oh man, I'm feeling tired. I'm just going to skip the workout. You should treat the workout like your job. You show up to your job Monday to Friday, right? Assuming you work a Monday to Friday job, you show up to make your workout your job. Like, hey, you get your job done, whether you're tired, whether you're a little hungry, you'll live, right? Go eat. I'm not saying don't eat, but don't feel like, oh man, I need to have that cake or that cupcake. Just commit, take action, and then refuel. Go sleep. Definitely get your rest. And oftentimes people feel when they don't have time or that committed, they're distracting themselves with other things. They're like, oh, I'm just going to go read this novel. And they're like, well, yeah, if you're going to run out of time because now you're distracting yourself with like TV, social media. And I'm not saying not to read or use social media or TV or whatever, but set aside, block off the time that you need to accomplish your goal. So if your goal is to go run, block that time off, make it separate. Then after you do that, then take care of the other stuff you want to do extra. So if you want to go, scroll social media for an hour, cool. Set that time off. Set it off as an extra time outside of your workout time. So you actually you commit to actually completing your workout, right? It's sort of like, oh, I'm getting depressed. I'm feeling depressed. I'm going to have ice cream. I'm going to watch TV, and start feeling bad about yourself. And instead, one of the things you could just do is go stop that action, right? Change your behavior. If you change your behavior, oftentimes behavior change actually even helps with depression and anxiety. Just when you exercise, you change your behavior to the positive, right? Obviously, go talk to a therapist. You need to talk to a therapist, but still commit to taking some positive action, because those actions you take, that behavior that you change, will compound over time. And that's what this whole kind of talk I have with you, or race talk, is on commitment and just committing to the actions that you promise to do that are going to take you to where you want to be for your goal. Whether it is you want to lose weight, or whether it is that you want to commit to, running a marathon, or maybe you want to commit to running faster, you want to pass a fitness test. Just take the steps, commit, and that's going to lead to the behavior change. Like, yes, it's nice to have these dreams, these reasons why you need to do it, these other needs, like, oh, you need to lose weight because it's going to be good for your health, for your heart health. You're going to be a better husband, you're going to be a better wife, you're going to be more productive at work. or it's good to have these different needs and reasons, and you know you have the ability, right? It's not like, hey, your feet still work, you're not injured, you don't have to go talk to a medical professional, you don't have to go to a doctor, you're pretty healthy. All right, cool. So you have the desire, you have the ability, you have the reasons. You've identified that, hey, you got the need, and now you just have to commit. You'll take the steps, keep going. Hey, every day you're committing to that small daily commitments, and then you'll see you keep persisting, you keep sticking to it, you practice, you train. Even if it's some days are easy, some days are hard. I understand it may vary, ebbs and flows, and the quality of your workouts, but you'll see behavior change will happen whether you want to lose weight, run, etc. And if you found this useful and you want to learn more about what I'm doing with the Running Pain Free community, join my free school course for runners on Running Pain Free. I got a link in the show notes.